Ghosts'N Goblins, huh?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Well, you're gonna need this.
Thank you.
You know what? Actually, you're gonna need some of these, too.
Thanks. Anything else? Ah! Oh my gosh! Oh my god! How many are there? Ow.
Enjoy.
What? Cold.
So, you want to review Ghosts'N Goblins, huh?
Yeah, it'd be really fitting for Halloween.
Well, alright, I'm in.
Well, where should we start?
How about a brief history?
You know what? That sounds really nice.
Ghosts'N Goblins first appeared on arcades in 1985. It became very successful and quickly was ported to a number of different consoles. Most notably, a little more than a year after its first release, it found its way onto the NES, which is where many fans were first introduced to it. 2 years after that, the game had its first sequel called Ghouls and Ghosts, and in another 3 years it was graced with another title, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, released not for an arcade, but for the Super Nintendo. Barring a few more ports, a handful of cameos, and more than one spin-off series, there was no continuation to the series until 2006, when the PSP received Ultimate Ghosts'N Goblins, and then a few years later when a couple iPhone games were released. The premise is fairly simple. Satan, that's this guy right here, has captured Princess Prin and taken her to his master, Astaroth. As a knight named Arthur, you venture into the ghoul realm, fighting demons and monsters in an attempt to rescue her. Later titles would use the same premise, but escalate to a larger and more powerful demon being behind it all. The game is a basic side-scrolling platformer. You have a variety of weapons that you can use, all of which are dropped randomly from various enemies. Ghosts'N Goblins is a title easily best known for its difficulty. Unlike many arcade games where putting in a new quarter lets you start off where you died, when you die in Ghosts'N Goblins, you restart the stage from the beginning, or at least at a halfway point in the first 4 levels. Coupled with armor that only protects you from a single hit, this forces players to prove that they actually have the skill to make it through a whole stage, instead of just proving that they have a lot of quarters. And, as any experienced veteran will tell you, you actually have to make it through the whole game twice in order to beat the game. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Ghosts'N Goblins, as far as the original game is concerned, I haven't played more than a few minutes of it since I was a little kid.
Really?
How much have you played?
Well, I remember around a year ago, me and you were playing some classic games, and you're mostly introducing me to the NES. And when we finally got to Ghosts'N Goblins. Since I was about to go home, I only got to play 5 minutes of it.
That's it? Jeez. Well, I guess that means we're going to start off with playing a lot of the game so we can get an honest opinion of it.
Okay, why don't we just make a video of where we complain about a game we've never played before? Are we going to be playing this on the NES?
No, actually, I'd like to play the original arcade version.
There's an arcade?
Alright, so if you'll shut up for a moment, I'll explain a few things here. So, I have the Capcom's Classic Collection, and that has a collection of all these old Capcom arcade games.
Like Street Fighter.
Yep, and we can play them without having to shovel in a bunch of quarters every time.
Like
So,
the ones you gave me. You did.
because I own the game.
Well, a guest should go first.
Screw you. Being Luigi is a great honor. Oh, that never happened.
Oh. So why are they in a graveyard? That's not really that romantic.
You know, it's about looking up ancestry. That is a kind of romantic date, you know, going up and looking up your ancestors.
Why are they coming from?
Well, if you want to really get in touch with your ancestors, go bash some those stones really hard.
Okay. Grandpa? Oh, Grandpa, no! Ow! Grandpa, you're mean.
The music has changed. You are now fighting a boss.
He looks like a fat unicorn.
He is a fat unicorn.
He's
Pretty?
actually a unicorn?
He's a unicorn.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not too often you get to fight unicorns in video games.
Oh, like a boss. Ow! Oh, I suck.
And you died like a boss. So...
Have you ever beaten this game before?
Not yet. This here's about as far as I've ever gone. I think we've got all the footage we need for this.
Giggity.
Alright. Another day, another dollar. Yo, 101, get in here. Quiet. Quiet.
It's funny to see you fail.
Hey, look, it's your turn.
Dang it!
Let's see you do better now.
Oh, okay. I feel sorry for myself. Welcome to hell, Matthew. Population me. Bad man. Oh. Oh, dang it. Funny. I don't care.
You know, the things that you're picking up are like parcels that the princess would have dropped.
She has many necklaces and parcels. Of course, I died again.
Let's see if you can get to the halfway point in the first level before I can get to level 4.
No. Oh my gosh, he survived.
Ninja of the graveyard.
Epic maneuver.
And yet here you're gonna die right there.
Nope, screw it, I'm just walking.
Oh, don't mind me, I'm just walking through a graveyard clad in full plate metal armor. Oh.
I don't think it was really romantic that he took his girlfriend on a date in the graveyard. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's that romantic.
Maybe, you know what, I don't want to say anything, you're too young for that.
Okay, I can leave. Caleb time.
Dang it, I got hit by one of those stupid sausage in the blanket.
Oh, what? This is not a sexual show at all. Oh, we got
sausage in a blanket, it's an hors d'oeuvre.
hors d'oeuvre. Okay, let's see if I can at least get past level 1.
Well, seeing as how you can't get past enemy number 1.
Oh my gosh. Oh. I can even get past the first 30 seconds and I just got a game over. I'm good at video games.
You don't have to keep saying that. Nobody believes you. Press start.
Wait, what? Ready? We're both stuck on a level.
I'm not stuck on the level. I'm stuck listening to you.
Oh my gosh! I was just right there. That was the end. Oh
no, it wasn't the end. The end was down.
Wait, do I have to restart the whole level now?
No, just from that checkpoint. You get one checkpoint in the middle of each level, but other than that, that's what you have to do. You have to go through the whole level.
I'm falling out.
What makes the game really great?
Almost all the controls are really fluid, except for the jumping. But overall, it's really tight and really comfortable to use. And going with that, the weapons are really fun to use, except for the torch. Oh no, I'm freaking about the torch.
It's not a bad weapon.
It's like in Castlevania when you get the boomerang and you accidentally grab the dagger. It sucks.
No, every weapon in this game just has a different sort of different style.
I just prefer others.
What you see, you're not liking it because of the way you're using weapons, which honestly is pretty much the same way I do too. You're sitting there trying to throw out as many as you can. With the torch, you want to be more precise with your hits. It's also very useful.
I died again.
Yes, you did.
And I got a game over.
But when you're using it like you use the dagger and you're just throwing out as many as you can, well, that's not going to work because you can only have two on the screen at the same time. And when it's burning, that you can't throw another one.
So it's kind of like, you know, if like there's a horde of zombies coming right behind you, throw it, you miss on purpose, but it's right in front of them and they walk in the fire.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, it's a more precise weapon than just talking to the defense. Some people are precision, people are just track as many as you can and see what you can kill. I am one of those people. I'm happy to say that.
You know, I don't think I could really pick some individual quality or even a small set of qualities that really make it stand out. I think what it actually comes down to being is just the overall mesh of everything. Every now and then you get a game that just comes together right. It just comes together as this fine-tuned machine. It's not just the controls. It's not just the controls and the balance of the weapons. It's also the level design, the enemies that you're up against, you know, the presentation. Everything is just coming together in this perfect package that every now and then you get a game that does that. I think that's what's really making this game great. Not some individual quality that excels, but just that it's all come together just right in just this perfect balance. What quality of the game stands out the most to you?
The first thing when you think about this game is obviously the difficulty of the music. If I had to choose between those, I would think the music. If you have ever played this game or seen this game on YouTube or heard of the music, it has been stuck in your head at one point. You've been walking down the street while humming it. It is probably one of the best soundtracks in video games ever.
Music has a special way of being secured in your mind.
Video music is awesome, especially for this game. You should never fail at video game music if you're making a video game, because how many times have you went out to buy Gears of War 2 and while you're doing that you have the Super Mario Star theme stuck in your head while you're listening to Luigi's Mansion?
Technically, never. What drawbacks does the game have? In what ways could it be improved?
Things that I don't really like about it is obviously I need to remind you about this game. But first things first is that there's not enough enemies in my opinion. I want more of a different feel per stage. Let's say they introduced one or two more enemies. to a different state. You'd have more of that progression feeling. Even though you're already getting a lot of it, I think it would even add more. I love that feeling.
Most of the improvements I think that the game could make are actually ones that were picked up by the sequels. You know, we could enhance the gameplay a little, you know, give a little bit more direction, give some more variety and some more weapons, you know, some more locales, some more interesting things to look at and to do. Those all came in the sequels. You know, I don't know if it's really that much of a flaw for them to be in the original because of limitations that it had to face. I think there is a little bit of drawback with the bosses. They're not exactly bad, but okay, let's be honest, that dragon boss is cheap. The dragon boss is cheap because he just kind of moves around and he can easily just move into you and you don't have an option to escape that. He'll just suddenly right on you and you can't dodge that. Dude, that's not cool.
You die like me.
I've never seen you die on him, never seen you get to him.
Oh, my KD ratio is positive.
And I could understand, yeah, okay, we have the dragon boss there, but then we also have the dragon boss again as the boss of the stage immediately after. And then you have the dragon boss in the last stage as a mid-boss. I don't think it is a good enough boss to appear 3 times in the course of the game.
What are your thoughts on the storyline or premise?
You know, a lot of cliches out there are cliche for a reason. And this storyline of rescuing the girl is cliche for a reason, because we love it, because it is so great, it is so fantastic. Don't bother weighing me down with all this intricate plot and emotion and bad writing that I don't care about. You know, just, you're out to save the girl. Your goal is to rescue the princess. That alone is all the reason you need to walk through hell. Yes, I love it when that's all you have, is just to rescue the princess. Best premise for a video game.
I feel that's a lot like Mario's. A big bad guy or whatever steals your girlfriend, and now it's up to you to go through a good number of levels, just trying to get to the final boss until you get to this part. Yes. Yes. Beat him! Yes! Yes! Good of you to say it. What? Your joke? Oh, please say your joke. No! I wasted $300 in corners.
I'm sure it happens to a lot of
I'm running. No! They said. I quit.
Well, if that's all it took to get him out of here, I should have done that years ago.
It's an illusion.
How do you feel about the difficulty?
When it comes to difficulty, there's a very fine line about cheap, or you feel like you made the mistake and it was your fault that you died. Most of the time, you feel like it's your fault. Until very few times, especially when you're not expecting it or they didn't really introduce it to you yet, it feels cheap. I came here to this falling platform. How was I supposed to know that was a falling platform? I'm doing decent. Oh my gosh! That is unfair! Who would put... I was never expecting that. and I felt cheated.
You know, my opinion of the difficulty has changed a little bit since I've actually beaten the game now. Because when I was younger, it seemed so ludicrous, impossible, and especially finding out that you gotta go through the game twice. It's seriously, what is up with it? Who has ever come close to beating this game? And then I sat down and I put a lot of effort into it, and I actually got through it. And I almost want to say that it's not difficult enough, but that's just because it doesn't feel like it's quite living up to that esteem that the game has been held at throughout all of my youth. That actually makes the difficulty pretty much perfect, because it does give you a challenge, but it is an attainable challenge. Thank goodness I've got it on the collection disc, because I would not be getting through that on an arcade where I'm actually paying money for it.
If you could change one thing about the game, what would it be?
I think I would want to add more levels. Add more variety and distinction in the levels as well. We didn't have a bad selection of levels, but when it actually came down to the rubber hitting the road, it just felt like you've got your graveyard, your second level, and those were great, especially the second level where you've got these blue towers, and then you've got this village. Then you get to the next level, and you're in a cave, and then you're in a different colored cave. And then the next level, you're in that first colored cave, and then you're like the fire cave, and then the last area was cool because you're in the tower, and then you're in more tower. I think I would have preferred it if we had either a few more levels or maybe just more distinction in the levels, which we did get in the sequels, I think I should point out. So it's not a bad quality, but yeah, I'd like to see more levels, more variety in the levels.
The jumping mechanic. It doesn't feel so natural. Like with Mario, it feels very fluent, especially with the momentum. With this game, it doesn't really feel as nice. But still, it is an awesome game, and that will not persuade you in any shape or way or form, or buying it or playing it. One little thing should not make you play the game or not.
What was your favorite moment from the game?
I think it's the progression of your skill, personally. At first, you'll probably die on one of the first couple of zombies. You aren't really expecting it, they're coming behind you. Since it's a hard game, you actually make it past the level. You actually feel like you accomplished something. And you keep progressing. I did it! Yes!
Take a key for coming in.
Woo!
Hey, look, it's still your turn.
Oh, it is! When you first beat your first stage, after getting countless game overs, you realize, I'm getting better. And for every stage you beat, you gain more skill. And it makes you feel like you've actually accomplished something. That's an achievement on your own. Not some stupid get a double kill on Mario. That's what I want.
Favorite moment? Well, I have two favorite moments, I'd say. One is just that introduction map. That just gives you this little tease, this little taste of what's ahead. And every time you go through, and you get as far as you can, and you're striving, you struggle, and you die, and you're like, no! And the map comes up, and it's like, this is what you can earn. You can get to this level here. Look at it. Doesn't it look pretty? Don't you want to be there? Don't you want to see what happens in that level? Oh yeah, I want to see that level. I want to get to that level. And, so that is one of my favorite moments from the game is just to get that glimpse every time. So I have that motivation and keep going. The second moment though, I'd say comes when I actually finally got there. When I was preparing for this review, and I played through the whole game, I actually made it to that level 6 with the purple square tiles and stuff. And I remember as a kid seeing a little map in Nintendo Power or something, and it's like, holy crap, I'm actually here. I actually made it. This level that I've seen in little preview images and little glimpses of when I was a kid, and I'm here now. And it's like, whoa, yes! And purple tiles look pretty cool. So yeah, that's my favorite moment. That satisfaction of arrival and that anticipation and drive to get there. 2 favorite moments. Well, we've gone through the entire game of Ghosts'N Goblins, or at least one of us has.
It was an illusion.
So, after getting the full feel of this classic and well-beloved game, tell me, Let's Play Nintendo 101, what are your final thoughts?
Well, first things first. Just because a game is hard doesn't make it a bad game. And overall, this game creates memories. Don't tell me that you don't at least have one. And if you don't, go create some right now. How about you, Mars?
To be quite honest, most of my memories and my love actually come more from the sequels than from the original. So having had this opportunity to go through the original, well, I just say I'm thankful. I'm grateful that I had this opportunity to go through and play through the original to its fullest extent, which honestly was something I never thought I could do. I didn't think I could pull off actually beating it, but hey.
Wait, there's sequels?
Oh yeah. Being that great isn't going to stick around to just one title.
What are the sequels like? Oh god!